up, that is awesome. This strategy absolutely works for you. Now, for those who are the vets, the people who have grinded it out, the people who have done deals, maybe you're doing a deal a month, maybe you're doing 10 deals a month, this absolutely can be a game changer and a great addition to your current business model that just brings in the cash, baby. This is a model, again, I spent some time with Brian digging in. This can be a cash cow for you. Now, there's really no limit to the amount of properties you can use to build this type of cash flow, right? We're using the Airbnb model, and we're simply piggybacking or riding the coattails of Airbnb to create some serious income with this strategy. So we are going to show you guys exactly what to do in your local market, okay? This is in your market. You can do this, and you can do it from home, right? So I'm always talking about systems and strategies that you can do anywhere, right? And this is a strategy, and Brian has the system, baby. I mean, he has laid it out that you don't have to have an office. You can absolutely work virtually. You can do this from home. You can do this while you're on vacation, for God's sakes. So this is something that I obviously am bringing to you because I find this to be absolutely profound in terms of being able to make some serious money without having to build this incredible infrastructure. I wouldn't really call this work, truthfully. I mean, this system is fun. What Brian's going to show you guys, it does all of the heavy lifting for you. So you're not going to have to go in and have all the brain damage that a lot of investors go through. So I want you guys to get excited. I'm super excited about this topic today. I want you to be taking notes. I'm going to be taking notes again. And so with that, let's go ahead and bring on the man, the dude who created this incredible system, Mr. Brian Page. You there, buddy?
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me on the call.
That's awesome. Cool. All right. So everything's working right. You're here. I'm here. I want everyone now to close your browsers, close your Skype, shut off Instagram, shut off Facebook, shut off your text messaging app, all of it. I want you to get serious. That's what I'm going to ask of you. I am bringing a genius to teach you this model, and all I'm saying is get serious for the next 60 to 90 minutes. I want your focus. I want you to pay attention. I want you to take notes because this is an absolute game changer. So with that said, I'm going to actually mute my mic. That usually improves the audio quality. Before I forget, Brian, dude, do you have time at the very end of this, because I know there will be questions, do you have time to stay on and do a little Q&A with everybody?
I do. I know you guys are going to have questions, so as we get towards the end, just go ahead and pop those in there, and we'll answer as many as we can towards the end of the call.
Exactly. So, again, like Brian said, if there's any questions along the way, throw them into the questions or comment box. During the presentation, I'll be writing those down so we can absolutely have a Q&A at the end of this. This is going to change your world, guys. Again, for the beginners, for the veterans, this is something that has to be in your tool belt, and you'll know why here very shortly. So with all that said, let's get going, and go ahead and take it away, my man.
All right. I appreciate it. Glad that everybody is on the webinar right now. I'm just going to welcome everyone from wherever in the U.S. you happen to be, or even around the world. I think we got some people from around the world. And I'm excited to be here. My name's Brian Page, and my goal in this webinar is to teach you something really interesting and to have you guys walk away feeling like, wow, that was something that I did not know about, as an opportunity that I had no clue about, and just kind of give you the inside scoop on what this whole thing's about. And as mentioned, the topic that we're going to talk about is how to earn 6 figures in 6 months on Airbnb, something I've done and many of my students have done, and I'm going to just share it with you. And I come from this very similar background from a lot of you guys. I am one of you. I'm a real estate investor, have been for many, many years. It's the first thing I ever did after getting out of college was invest in real estate. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. But let's go ahead and get started. So what you're going to learn during this presentation, first of all, I'm going to share with you the exact steps that I took to earn $117,000 in 6 months. Excuse me one second. I got to close this out. There we go. That was in my way. Okay, I had to close out the presentation thing. So we're going to learned, first of all, how I earned $117,000 in 6 months and over $300,000 my very first year on Airbnb. How to choose the most profitable locations. I'm going to share that with you. Exact kind of properties that you want to find. And how to use what I call OPP, other people's properties. And you guys have probably heard the hip-hop song OPP. For me, that's what it stands for, other people's properties. Now, it doesn't mean you can't do this with something that you own yourself. That's great. If you have your own, investment properties, you can list those and put them on Airbnb. But the great thing is you don't have to. None of the listings I have are ones that I own. I'm also going to talk about how to get owners to gladly let you do this. Why in the world would somebody let you take their property and list it on Airbnb when they could just do it themselves? I'm going to talk about that. And how to handle restrictive leases, the no subletting clauses. Brian, how do you do this when there's all kinds of restrictions on leases that don't allow subletting? I'm going to talk about that. Also, I'm going to talk about how to scale up by getting multiple listings. That's the key to making a lot of money on Airbnb. Now, I'm sure some of you guys that are listening in right now, you know people that are making money on Airbnb, but they might be doing it with their spare room or one property. Very few people have more than one or two listings. And I'm going to show you how to scale up to get multiple listings. Also, importantly, we're going to talk about how to put this whole thing on autopilot by outsourcing and automating. That is how you grow this business without pulling your hair out. I'm going to show you some actual screenshots and case studies of my own listings. I'm going to take you inside my Airbnb account. I'm going to show you exactly what I make month to month, listing to listing, show you photos of my actual places. You're going to hear from successful students that have gone through my program and are earning big on Airbnb. These are people that are already earning six figures themselves, highly successful students, and they've done it in a very short amount of time, so you're going to hear from some of them. And also, if you stay to the end, I've got a free tool that I want to give you guys. And this is what I call my property profits calculator. And what this allows you to do is take any property, punch in a few numbers, and be able to calculate what you can earn monthly or annually on that property if you were to list it on Airbnb. Okay, this is something I made myself. I had some very smart guys put the software together, and it's something I'm just going to give to you to use for as long as you want to, free software, if you stay to the end of the presentation. Now, you might be wondering, okay, why is this important to me now, Brian? Well, first of all, the idea that you need to own property or a bunch of them to list them on Airbnb is dead wrong. But if you don't know the proper approach, it's going to be difficult to get people to say yes. And there are a ton of potential properties out there, but there's really only one kind that you want to focus on, and there's several that actually you want to avoid if you want to earn the most money potential per listing. I'm going to talk about that. And scaling without a plan is a recipe for chaos. And I know this because in the early days of my business, I was working like 50 to 60 hours just trying to manage the chaos of running my own hotel. Essentially, that's what it was. It was my own hotel. And so I had to learn how to put this into a system. And you should also know why this is important to you right now is the game has changed. And what do I mean by the game? I mean the game of investing. Traditionally, the game of investing it's your assets, right? You go get assets that earn you income or make you money, and that's how you invest. Nowadays, you can make money with other people's assets. And not only do I do it, the largest and most successful companies in the world do that. I'm going to talk about that. So you might be wondering, okay, Brian, is this going to be something that's for me? Well, if you're new to Airbnb, you don't know much about it, but you want to learn how to jumpstart your success, this is going to be a good training for you. Or if you're an experienced host, you're listening right now and you're like, I already got it listening, I already know how it works, but you want to take a big income boost, you want to scale up your business, this is going to be for you. Or you might just want to supplement or replace your income. I'm going to talk about that. Or if you like me, my biggest motivation is I wanted to be free of a boss. I didn't want to have employees. I didn't want to work full-time hours. That's what I wanted. That was the biggest motivator for me to get into this. But what you're going to need is a specific step-by-step plan. And if you want to avoid learning it all on your own, starting over, and going through the same trials that I went through for years, this is going to be for you. Also, I want to let you guys know, this is something anyone can do, even if you do it very part-time. And it's designed to be done part-time, honestly, and that's how I did it. I was working 50 hours a week at my job, and I now have people in several dozen countries that are doing this, students of all different ages, all different ethnic backgrounds, all different socioeconomic levels that are doing this, because Airbnb is worldwide. So I want to give you a brief introduction of who I am, and hopefully it's humble as well, because you guys might be wondering, okay, who's Brian? Why should I listen to him? Who is this guy that's speaking to me right now? Well, first of all, I made my first $1 million in real estate in my 20s by flipping houses. And I did this back in the early 2000s. And back then, it was not mainstream. It was not mainstream at all. In fact, there was no TV shows like Flip This House.
Hello? This is she. Rami, hi, let me pause this real quickly. I'm recording the... Okay, how do I do this? I'm recording the webinar right now. My phone. What did I say? Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find the recording. I don't know where it goes. Alright, we're recording. I'm actually pretty good, but for some reason, like, I'm losing the recording, the little recording icon, and for the first time ever, and I don't know where it's at. Okay, they might be just... Goodness. Alright, whatever. No, No, it wasn't you, it was just... I don't know where it goes. Okay, I'm all yours. I'll figure it out. Okay. You done it before?